The South China Sea, a cauldron of simmering tensions. This vast expanse of water, rich in resources and strategic importance, has long been a focal point of geopolitical strife. Nations surrounding this body of water have laid claim to parts of it, but none as aggressively as China. For years, China has been asserting its dominance, claiming vast swathes of this crucial waterway as its own. The Chinese government has invested heavily in its naval capabilities, showcasing its strength through grand military parades and relentless patrols. But recent events have sent shockwaves through the region, pushing the Philippines and China closer to the brink. Diplomatic efforts have been strained, with high-stakes meetings often ending in stalemates or heightened tensions. Chinese vessels, emboldened and relentless, have stepped up their presence in the West Philippine Sea, challenging the Philippines' maritime claims. Satellite images reveal a growing number of Chinese ships encroaching on waters traditionally fished by Filipinos. Fishing boats, often accompanied by the menacing shadows of Chinese Coast Guard ships, have become a constant presence. Filipino fishermen who have relied on these waters for generations now find themselves under the watchful eyes of a foreign power. Their mission to assert control and intimidate the Chinese Coast Guard's presence is not just about patrolling. It's a clear signal of dominance, a message to the world that China is willing to go to great lengths to secure its claims. The message is clear. China is testing the waters, pushing the limits of what it can get away with. Each maneuver, each raised flag is a calculated move in a larger game of geopolitical chess. The world watches, holding its breath as the delicate balance of power in the region threatens to shatter. Global leaders convene, discussions are held, but the question remains: how far will China go and what will be the world's response? China's actions have been nothing short of provocative. Landing parties have been dispatched to disputed islands, planting the Chinese flag as a symbol of their unwavering claim. Military exercises showcasing China's growing naval might have become more frequent and brazen. The Philippines, facing this escalating pressure campaign, has refused to back down. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., inheriting a legacy of Chinese encroachment, has vowed to defend his nation's sovereignty. He has called for dialogue but also for strength, knowing that appeasement is not an option. But China's aggressive posture may have backfired. Its actions have galvanized international condemnation, uniting nations concerned about Beijing's expansionist ambitions. The United States, Japan, and Australia, wary of China's growing influence, have deepened their security ties with the Philippines. Joint military exercises have become commonplace, sending a clear message of deterrence to Beijing. The Philippines, once reliant on outdated equipment, has embarked on a modernization program, bolstering its naval and air capabilities. The message is clear. China's attempts to intimidate have only strengthened the resolve of the Philippines and its allies. Amidst this backdrop of escalating tensions, a surprising development has emerged that has caught many off guard. China has extended an olive branch, signaling a potential shift in its approach to the South China Sea dispute. Beijing, in a move that has stunned many observers, has called for peace talks, proposing a dialogue to ease the ongoing tensions. The Chinese government is urging the Philippines to abandon its provocative actions and work towards a negotiated settlement, emphasizing the need for regional stability. Is this a genuine change of heart or a calculated ploy? Analysts are divided on the issue, with some seeing it as a sincere effort to de-escalate the situation. Some see it as a sign that China, facing mounting international pressure and the prospect of a united front against its ambitions, is seeking to de-escalate the situation. They argue that Beijing might be feeling the heat from the international community and is looking for a way to ease the pressure. Others, however, view it with deep skepticism. They believe that China, known for its strategic maneuvering, is simply buying time and attempting to sow discord among the Philippines and its allies. They argue that this move is part of a broader strategy to weaken the resolve of the Philippines and its partners, creating divisions and uncertainty within the coalition. As the world watches closely, the true intentions behind Beijing's unexpected overture remain to be seen. Will this lead to a lasting peace? Or is it merely a temporary lull in an ongoing power struggle? Only time will tell. The Philippine government has responded cautiously. While welcoming the prospect of dialogue, Manila has made it clear that it will not compromise on its sovereignty. The memory of past broken promises and China's continued assertiveness in the region weighs heavily on the minds of Philippine officials. Public sentiment is even more wary. No peace without justice in the West Philippine Sea has become a rallying cry. Filipinos scarred by years of Chinese encroachment demand more than just empty words. They demand respect, accountability, and a recognition of their legitimate rights. The world is watching closely, eager to see how this high-stakes diplomatic dance will play out. Will China's peace overture lead to a genuine easing of tensions, or is it merely a smokescreen for further maneuvering? The answer to this question will have profound implications, not just for the Philippines and China, but for the entire region. The South China Sea, a vital artery of global trade and a potential flashpoint for conflict, hangs in the balance. Trust, once broken, is not easily rebuilt. The Philippines, along with other nations in the region, have witnessed firsthand China's willingness to use coercion and intimidation to advance its interests. The shadow of past broken promises hangs over the current situation. China's recent actions, including the reported deportation of Uyghur asylum seekers from Thailand under pressure from Beijing, have done little to assuage concerns about its human rights record and its willingness to bully smaller nations. The international community must remain vigilant, holding China accountable for its actions and ensuring that any peace agreement is based on principles of fairness, respect for international law, and the peaceful resolution of disputes. The South China Sea remains a sea of uncertainty. This vast expanse of water, rich in resources and strategic importance, has long been a focal point of geopolitical tension. Nations bordering this crucial waterway have vested interests, and their actions could shape the future of the region for generations to come. Will China's peace overture mark a genuine turning point, or is it merely a tactical maneuver in a much larger game? The recent diplomatic engagements between China and the Philippines have sparked both hope and skepticism. While some see it as a step towards lasting peace, others fear it might be a strategic ploy to gain more control. The answer to this question will depend on the actions of both China and the Philippines, as well as their ability to navigate the complex web of regional politics. The military presence in the area continues to grow, with both nations bolstering their defenses and conducting regular patrols, as well as the role played by other key actors in the region. The ASEAN nations, along with global powers like the United States, have a significant stake in the stability of the South China Sea. Their involvement could either mitigate tensions or exacerbate them, depending on the diplomatic strategies they employ. One thing is clear: the stakes have never been higher. The South China Sea is not just a regional issue, it has global implications. The strategic importance of this waterway cannot be overstated, as it is a critical route for international trade and energy supplies. The future of the South China Sea, a vital waterway for global trade and a potential flashpoint for conflict, hangs in the balance. The economic lifelines of many nations depend on the free and open navigation of these waters. Any disruption could have far-reaching consequences. The world watches and waits, hoping for a peaceful resolution, but bracing for the possibility of further turbulence ahead. As diplomatic talks continue and military maneuvers persist, the international community remains on edge, aware that the decisions made today will shape the geopolitical landscape of tomorrow. The world holds its breath. Will cooler heads prevail, or will the South China Sea, once a symbol of vibrant trade and cultural exchange, become the epicenter of a new era of great power rivalry? The answer to this question lies not just in the halls of government and on the decks of warships, but in the hearts and minds of people across the region and around the world. Because in the end, it is the pursuit of peace, justice, and a rules-based international order that will determine the fate of this vital waterway.